Shedeur Sanders made his starting debut against the Raiders, and it was a successful debut, thanks in part to a big contribution from his defense. Sanders did not light the world on fire, throwing for just over 200 yards and a touchdown pass, but the Cleveland Browns did get a win, and that is a rare thing. It breaks a 17-game losing streak with a quarterback making their first start for Cleveland. Look, they're looking for any signs of life there, and they got some on Sunday. There were a couple of splash plays. Now, the naysayers are going to point out that almost all of Sanders' passing yards came on two plays. One was a 52-yard bomb. The other was a 60-plus yard touchdown that was really a 1-yard pass and then a whole lot of running after the catch. But nonetheless, again, it's Cleveland. You need anything. You need any kind of hype, and you had it there with Sanders. There was a little juice. You could feel it watching the game. And we just found out that Sanders is going to get another start because head coach Kevin Stefanski said that even though Dillon Gabriel has cleared the concussion protocol, Shedeur Sanders is going to start next week against the 49ers. Not a terrible landing for him, by the way, because that 49ers defense gave up an NFL record of completions to Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals. So he's got another chance to maybe look good for the Browns. And why not? Again, what's Dillon Gabriel going to give you? I don't think anything. You might as well roll the dice with Shedeur and see what you have. By the way, if he we know he's going to start against the 49ers, but if he wins, he will do something that hasn't been done for Cleveland since the 80s. How about this tweet from Josh Dubow? If Shedeur Sanders starts and wins against the Niners, he will join Paul McDonald in 1982 and Otto Graham in 1946 as the only Browns quarterbacks to win their first two career starts. Think about that. Think about how many quarterbacks the Browns have had since they came back into the league in 1999. It's actually 42 is the number. Now, those aren't all guys making their first start, but still, the fact that they haven't had a guy making their first two starts win two straight games is kind of amazing if you think about it. So it's a lost season for the Browns, one of many. Myles Garrett is absolutely dominating right now and has more sacks himself than entire NFL teams. But once again, this is about draft picks for Cleveland and about maybe possibly finding that guy. Now, Shedeur Sanders said before the game, I am the guy you've been looking for. And after the game, he said, a lot of people want to see me fail. It ain't going to happen. So he's confident. He's got the attitude and the moxie and the swagger. Not surprising considering who his father is. But maybe, just maybe, the Cleveland Browns have some hope. It's way too early for me to say one way or the other. I'm sure this is going to be dissected because everybody appears to lose their mind when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, but it's his show now. He's going to start against the 49ers. I predict he'll probably end up starting the rest of the way because why not if you're Cleveland? And we'll all just sit back and see what happens. Yet another quarterback adventure for the Cleveland Browns.